In this video, we're going to take a look at a solo jazz piano transcription of Over the Rainbow. It's Paul Tobey here from Jazzmentl.com. Thanks for joining me for another one of my tutorials. This one is going to be very interesting because it's a complete transcription of my solo piano performance from my new album, It's Time. There is essentially 10 pages of transcription. We do not have time to get through all of them. I will be putting a link to the transcription a little bit later on. I really think this is going to be helpful to a lot of you. We're going to listen to the music and watch the transcription and then look at it in detail and capture some of the reharmonization and soloing ideas. I have the video queued up. You can see the actual performance in the video, and then just below that is the transcription. Of course, we all know the tune Over the Rainbow, so what I want you to do is listen to the first A section, and then we'll analyze it a little bit, but what I want you to listen for is some of the more interesting concepts used in this solo piano performance. Okay, let's stop right there and turn to the sheet music. I think one of the more interesting things about this performance is I don't actually start on the root. And that's an often used technique in jazz to make it seem like there's dissonance right off the bat. And it really needs to go somewhere rather than resolve. So the first chord being B half diminished seventh. And the next thing I find interesting is the chord movement here. While the right hand goes up, the left hand goes down. It makes a nice sound. And then there's some inner voices where on the B flat chord, you've got this note, which is the sharp 5 leading to the 6th of the chord. That's often used when going to major chords. And then some more inner voices. And I think these are nice voicings for like A minor 7th chords. And then you've got passing chords like this B9 chord. It actually has a sharp 11 in the chord, which is nice. Think of it like C sharp over D. And again, you've got chord movement here going up while the bass goes down. Interesting. And then rather than resolve to F right there, we're going to go G flat major 7 flat 5 chord, which is kind of nice. And then to the B half diminished 7th. And then it plays another A section. All right, let's keep going. Let's go to the next A section. If you take a look at that ending, it's F sus4 to F. It's very much a gospel thing to do. Just kind of like that in the performance. Let's keep going. And then, of course, when it gets to the last A section, we're again going to the B half diminished 7th chord rather than to the root. I want to take a look quickly at the bridge. What I want to do here is focus on this bar and specifically starting here, which is a departure from the actual melody. We're adding some other melodic ideas in here, and it's pretty much a classical technique. It's called a drop two voicing. So after the initial melody from the bridge, which is you've got this classical line here. So what you do is you just take an E chord, or any chord really, which is the triad, put it in second inversion, like here, and then take the second note from the top and put it down an octave. So you got this chord. I think it adds a nice dimension to this performance. Let's go back and listen a little bit more. And of course, we're in the final A section of the tune. So now we're into the solo section, and what I want you to listen for here is obviously some of the solo ideas, but how it pretty much sticks to the chords that were done during the head, and also the fact that I'm really playing around with the melody. You can still, if you listen carefully, hear the melody in behind the solo improvisation. And there you can hear that we didn't go to the root either. It's the second A section. We're going right to that B half diminished seventh chord. Really just some fast bebop lines there over that B flat chord. And then the chord changes. And let's keep playing. Let's go back a few bars and listen to that again. I think it's interesting. So what you have there is some double stops in the right hand. Rather than playing single notes, we're playing two notes at a time. Okay, makes a nice sound rather than just single notes. Let's keep playing. You'll find that a lot in my playing where you've got the G minor chord and it's just a blues. And then obviously this really long line. I didn't actually sit down and try to learn this transcription, but I think if you take your time with it, you'll really discover that there's some nice lines in there. That's a technique that I often employ when reharmonizing, is on the G sharp diminished 7th chord. I'll play chords like this. They're just inversions of diminished chords, but they've also got minor seconds in the bottom, which makes it a nice sound. Little sidestepping there in fourths, right? If you take a look at that actual chord, it's voiced in fourths except for the top 2 notes, which are in thirds. Of course, we're taking some liberties with the time. If you listen to the ending of that chorus, basically I'm stretching out the C chord quite a bit. Putting in this C7 sus chord. The soloing goes on for a while. We don't have time to play the entire performance. What I will do, however, is I'm going to put a link up here in the corner to that performance if you want to listen to the whole thing. But let's keep going for now. We're going to go close to the end. Let's take a look at that in the sheet music. And the bar that I want you to focus on is this ending here. So the technique is basically to go down with the bass in half steps, starting on the B half diminished 7th chord. So that would be the flat 5 of F. And then you're essentially doing 2 5s with every other chord being a tritone substitution. So instead of B half diminished 7th to E7, we're going down a half step to B flat. So starting on the B half diminished 7th. And in the right hand, I'm just playing some kind of arpeggio. I hope that you got some value out of that and that you enjoyed some of that performance and the ideas that go behind this solo piano performance. I'm going to put a link to the entire transcription. It is 10 pages long. I'm going to throw that link up there. And I'm also going to put a coupon code on your screen to get it at a pretty significant discount. You'll know how much when you get there, but take the coupon code with you and you'll see. But just before you go, if I could ask you just to reach down and hit the little thumbs up button, it really helps us here at the channel. And if you're not subscribed yet, please go ahead and do so. Just hit the little bell when you do, and we'll notify you of all the upcoming videos that we're making. And if you're looking for other solo piano performances that are completely transcribed, I've got one for the very iconic tune called Take 5 by Paul Desmond and the Dave Brubeck Quartet. I'm going to put that video tutorial and the transcription right here.